Hey there, welcome to another video from Between CAD Classes. I'm Tracy, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add a curved roof to a building in Autodesk Revit. Let's get started. So here you can see I've got a simple building, just a rectangular building that I want to add a curved roof to. In order to do this, I'm going to use the Roof by Extrusion tool. So I'm going to go to the Build panel here and select the drop-down underneath Roof and select Roof by Extrusion. Next, Revit is going to want to know where I want to sketch the shape that's going to be extruded. I could select a named plane if I have one, but I don't currently have one. So instead, I'm going to choose the Pick a Plane option, and then I'll click OK. Next, I will click the plane where I want to sketch. So I'm going to sketch on this east wall over here. I'll simply select it, and then click OK to put this on the roof level. I'm now in the sketch mode. I could sketch it in 3D, or I could switch to the right view here on the view cube, but I'm actually going to open up the east elevation view. So I'll come to my project browser and double click on east, and then here's where I'm going to sketch this roof. Now on my roof, I want a 2-foot overhang in each direction, and you'll see that when I start the arc tool, it's difficult to do because the default dimensions go to the center of the wall there. Now, if I know the thickness of that wall, I can do the math and figure it out, but I don't actually know the thickness of that wall, so I'm instead going to draw a couple of construction lines. So I'll choose my line tool, and then I will draw a line from that endpoint out 2 feet to the left. Then I will escape once, and then I'm going to go back and do the same thing on the right side. I'll make a 2-foot line going this direction as well, and then escape one more time. Next, I'm going to draw an arc or a series of arcs. If I just wanted one arc, I can choose the Start End Radius Arc tool, pick the endpoint here and the endpoint across the way, and then click to place my arc, and of course adjust my radius as needed. I want a more complex roof, so I'm going to undo that. I'm going to start by creating another 3-point arc here out to the side, and then I'm going to go 2 buttons to the right to create a tangent end arc. And here I'm going to create a series of tangent arcs. I don't want to get too crazy with it, or Revit might not like it and give me an error when I try to finish the roof here. But I'll try something like that and see what Revit thinks of it. I do find sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error. It doesn't always like really crazy arcs in here. Before I accept this, I'm going to delete the 2 horizontal lines, and then I will select my finish check mark. So here you can see my roof. And I can possibly change my rafter cuts. It depends on the complexity of the roof, but here you can see I was able to go to 2 cut plumb, and now I've got some nice horizontal cutoffs there. 2 cut square gives me the same thing. If I go back to plumb cut, you can see that basically it was cut perpendicular to the shape itself. So I'm going to go back to 2 cut plumb so that I have a nice horizontal edge on both sides. Next, I'm going to switch to 3D and take a look at my roof here. I can see that my roof has the 2-foot overhang on the north and south ends, but it doesn't have an overhang at all on the east and west. So I'm going to select my roof and look at its properties. In my properties, I can see an extrusion start value of 0. So the surface that I sketched on is my start. Anything coming out towards me would be positive. Anything going away from me would be negative. So you can see that my extrusion end is negative 50 feet. So basically my walls were 50 feet here. So it extruded the full length of the walls. I want an overhang of 2 feet down on that end, so I'm going to adjust this to negative 52 feet. Now you can see that I've got an overhang there. Then I'm going to come back and add a positive 2 feet to the front end. And now you can see that I have an overhang there as well. Next, I want to attach all of my walls. So I'm going to hover over one wall and press Tab once. That should highlight the entire chain. Then I will click to select them. Then up top in my ribbon, I will select Attach, Attach Top, and then I will select the roof here. I'll click away from it, take a spin here, and now we can see my curved roof with all of the walls attached. All right, so now you know how to create a curved roof in Autodesk Revit. It's your turn to go out and add one to a building of your choice. I'd love to hear how you're using it. I'd also love to hear if you have any tips or if you've run into any issues. Please just make a comment below. Of course, while you're down there, you can always click like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video from Between CAD Classes.